What's up, everybody? My name is Jeremy Jones and I'm back with another video. Today, I'm talking my weekly sneaker rotation, so stay tuned.
Got a lot of things changing in my life. Hoping one day I'ma get it all right. Brother is engaged, about to start a new life. Yeah, I haven't had a chill day. Really wanna vibe, appreciate the moments. I've been creating, not scrolling. Mom and dad.
Alright, man, I'm back with another video. Now, before I get too deep into this video, y'all already know what to do. Go and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you know, consider subscribing. I made content about sneakers. Alright, so let's dive into today's video. Just like I said in the intro, man, I am back with another weekly sneaker rotation. Now, this should be week 174 to the best of my knowledge. And if I'm wrong, feel free to correct the kid down in the comment section. Now, y'all already know I started this series off at the beginning of 2023, and here we are, we're already in week 174. Now, if you want to get a sneak peek of what I'm wearing throughout the week, sign up for that sold out Discord. The link is pinned at the top of the comment section, and it is free to sign up. Where, of course, you know, we continue the sneaker talk, but we got a food section, a sports section, you name it. If I do not get the content out on time, most likely we're already chopping it up in there, right? Okay, so enough rambling. Let's just go and get to this weekly sneaker rotation. Now, y'all know I end things off on a Friday, then pick right back up on Saturday. So this Saturday, the kid was at the shop, and probably by the time I drop this video, most likely it's time to go back. Is it just me, or it just seems like the shape-ups just don't last as long as they used to back in the day? Or maybe my hair is just growing faster than I anticipated. But anyway, Saturday, kid stepped in none other than the Air Jordan 12, and this is the University Gold joints, and AKA the Gary Payton PE. One of these joints, I think I picked it up from Dick's Sporting Goods, right? Okay, where it's like, this was in the peak of like COVID times, right? And I don't really want to talk too much on that for YouTube, but it's one of those, I've always been a major sucker for the color yellow. At one point, I actually was debating on actually selling these guys, but then honestly, when I just kept looking at them, like, I can't do it, you know what I'm saying? I still just got a little special place in my heart for these different type of like leather quality on these guys right here, man. And to be honest, I've said this time and time again, after the Air Jordan 1, it's most likely the Air Jordan 12 is the most silhouette in my collection. But this was my Saturday shoe, was the Air Jordan 12 University Gold, AKA the Gary Payton, right? Okay, now we're gonna move right on to Sunday. You know, Sunday's like my reset day when I just kick it with the family, talk about everything and chill with them. So pretty much, you already know, bringing the beaters out, and we're talking the Yeezy Slides Pure. And yeah, these things have seen better days. I actually bought these back in 2021, whenever these wasn't just so readily available. Whenever in 2022, who would know that, you know, Adidas and Ye would part ways? And I'll leave it right there because I don't really want to go too in depth or trying to bash anybody. But here we are. One of my favorites in my collection, even though I have other Yeezy Slides and people saying it's time to let these guys go, it's still one of those, hey, the comfortability is there, and it's a by the door shoe, a beater shoe, why not? I mean, I appreciate time and time again, and other people's in the Discord as well have said the same thing. Shameless plug, hey, there's nothing wrong with having a beater or two in your collection, if not more. So this was my Sunday shoe, was a Yeezy Slide Pure. Cool. Now to move right on to Monday, right back at work. You guys pretty should know at this point what theme it is for the kid. So I stepped in none other than the Air Jordan 12, and this is the PSNY, which is the public school in New York, the gray colorway, right? They did several different colorways. In fact, the one that I wanted the most, I would say, was that burgundy colorway, which I believe that was like the French one. But for whatever reason, when I did see it, it didn't have it in my size. And to be honest, I think back then I was still chasing shoes, but not on the level of what I probably may do now, right? Okay, but all gray shoe, y'all know me, I'm a sucker for the color gray. And one thing I'll say about gray, versatility. You can't really go wrong with an all gray shoe, or just shoes that have gray in general. Now at this point, you're probably like, well, if that's the case, why did you skip the Air Jordan 5 Wolf Grays? Ironically, I have been looking back, right? Okay, to keep it real. But anyway, this was my Monday shoe, was the Air Jordan 12, and these is the PSNY. Cool. Now I'm gonna move around to Tuesday, right back at work. A shoe where, to be honest, looking back in today's time, I normally would have probably skipped these, but back then, it's just like I was in the heat of the moment probably back then, and I can't find myself really wanting to let them go. I actually like them, and we're talking none other than the Air Jordan 12, again, and this is the French Blues, right? At this point, this is the third Air Jordan 12 you've seen up on the screen. You know where we're going for the rest of the week, baby. Even though red is one of my favorite colorways, I told you guys, if it's done right, which I feel like this shoe, nice, subtle, calming, and offers a lot of versatility. A great shoe for that spring/summertime, more so summertime. You'll probably catch me rocking these a lot with just some blue basketball shorts, right? Okay, nothing really spectacular to it, but it also gives me like Los Angeles vibes, right? Okay, like I'm thinking Lakers sometimes too, because they have that colorway where you could probably get away with these if they got on the right uniform colorway. But anyway, this was my Tuesday shoe, was the Air Jordan 12 French Blue. Cool, now let's move right on to Wednesday. This shoe, I probably told this story time and time again, so I won't tell it this time, maybe just a short version. So Wednesday, right back at work, and I stepped in none other than the Air Jordan 12 Masters, right? This is the shoe that probably dropped before everything started rolling up to being online or on app base, right? Okay, where you had to enter these raffles and this and the third. This is where you had to line up, right? So the kid actually waited in a very, very long line with my coworker at the time to cop these, and yeah, all over solid black shoe for the most part with that hint of gold. Y'all know me, I'm a sucker for the gold no matter how you slice it and dice it, man. I'm just like a special place in my heart. And I like the theme that they were going with these, and I've said this time and time again, you can't really go wrong with a dominant all black shoe. So this was my Wednesday shoe, was the Air Jordan 12 Master. Cool, now I'm gonna move on to Thursday. Arguably one of my favorite colorways of all time, because you know, next to black is obviously red. There's your hint right there. Can you probably guess it? And Thursday, right back at it. And these are the Air Jordan 12 these are the Air Jordan 12 Flu Games. I almost said French Blues, but the Flu Games, right? Okay, now ironically, after watching The Last Dance, we saw that it was actually food poisoning, but at the time they kept calling it the flu, right? Okay, and this is what he was hooping in, and he was obviously not feeling well, but he did what he had to do, showed up, and he finished the job, because that's just what Michael Jordan does, man, or what he did, so to speak, man. A legend, and arguably black and red, right? I forever will try my very best to own this colorway shoe, right? I love it. Arguably one of my favorites in my collection. Obviously, I'll probably say that a lot about any of the shoes, but yeah, I love these guys right here, man. Y'all know even my pair previously was actually okay, which I believe was like 2016, and then I had to go back and get them again, man. So yeah, this was my Thursday shoe, was the Air Jordan 12 Flu Games. Cool. I want to close out heavily right here, something very simple, subtle for Friday. I thought about going in another direction, but I was like, you know what? I might as well finish strong. So right back at work, and the Air Jordan 12 playoffs. Yeah, man. I mean, again, this kind of has the like best of both worlds. Y'all see me in white tees. We got the white. I love the black colorway, and then you got that hint of red on the tongue right there. I mean, why not? And then on the back, of course. I mean, this one right here, man, it just kind of speaks for itself. Now, I know everybody says the 12s are notorious for the hood, but I mean, it is what it is, and that may be true. Or you can see that family photo where, you know, they usually do a full-size family run where you can get the whole family straight. I mean, to be honest, say what you want to say about the silhouette, it just hits, man, respectively, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those, I do remember this a lot as a kid where a lot of people had this particular silhouette, man, and it's a particular reason that it's like that. So it's just a dope shoe, the silhouette in general, and arguably, this is one of my favorites in my collection. I remember when I did the mall pickup vlog for these as well, but this was my Friday shoe, was an Air Jordan 12 playoff. Cool, man. So pretty much that completes my weekly sneaker rotation for this week. Y'all sign off in the comment section and let me know what you wore throughout the week as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of this thing and stop rambling, man. Y'all be sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you know, consider subscribing. I made content about sneakers. Again, my name is Jeremy Jones, and thank you for watching, and I'm out.